They say love is a game of hearts, but what if I told you the one who chases often loses not because they are unworthy, but because they are too available? This is not just about relationships. This is about life itself. The harder you chase what runs away, the more it runs. The moment you stop chasing, it turns around. Of course, here's the English version of part 1 written in a smooth, natural flow, no brackets, no stage notes, over 1, 200 words long, perfect for narration, voiceover, or motivational content. ***, when you stop chasing, she starts chasing. Stoic Wisdom, Part 1, there comes a moment in every man's life when something inside him quietly breaks. It isn't the kind of pain you can show anyone. It's the silent exhaustion of giving too much, of caring too hard, of waiting too long for someone who doesn't seem to notice. He sits there, phone in hand, staring at a blank screen. He types a message, deletes it, types again, deletes again. Part of him still hopes she'll reply, that she'll finally see how much he's tried. But deep down he already knows he's chasing something that keeps running away, and in that stillness the truth begins to whisper. The more you chase, the faster they run. It isn't punishment, it's nature. It's the law of energy. You see, the world has taught us to chase. From childhood we hear, go after what you want, never give up. That advice works for goals, careers, and dreams, but not for people. Because people are not prizes to be caught, they're souls to be met halfway. When you keep chasing someone who keeps walking away, you lose not only your dignity, but also your center. Every message that goes unanswered chips away at your self-respect. Every time you beg for attention, you confirm that your peace depends on another person's approval. And the moment your happiness depends on someone else, you have surrendered your freedom. The Stoic philosophers understood this long before smartphones existed. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. In love, that means you can't control what she feels, what she says, or what she chooses. But you can always control how you respond. You can decide whether to chase or to breathe, whether to cling or to grow. A Stoic man doesn't deny his emotions. He simply refuses to be ruled by them. He learns that peace isn't found in getting what he wants, but in mastering his reactions. He stops asking, why doesn't she love me? And starts asking, why do I keep needing someone to prove my worth? When you chase, you send a silent message. You're more valuable than I am. Your validation defines my self-image. That imbalance drains attraction. People are drawn to calm confidence, not desperation. They run from what feels needy and are magnetized by what feels grounded. There comes a day when a man finally decides to stop. He isn't angry, he's simply done. He scrolls through old conversations that used to mean everything, and suddenly they look different, empty, one-sided. He smiles a tired smile and whispers to himself, I'm done proving. That decision is the turning point. He no longer waits for her to reply. He no longer checks her stories to see if she's moved on. He stops rehearsing imaginary conversations in his mind. At first, the silence feels heavy, almost unbearable. But slowly, that silence begins to heal him. He starts remembering who he was before the chase, someone with dreams, discipline, humor, confidence. He starts going to the gym, not to impress her, but to strengthen himself. He works on his goals, learns new skills, spends time with friends. Every day, a small piece of his energy returns. That's when real transformation begins. When a man redirects his attention from obsession to self-improvement, his entire aura changes. His walk becomes steadier, his eyes calmer, his voice quieter but stronger. He's no longer looking outward for validation, he's building it within, and that inner shift never goes unnoticed. The same world that once ignored him begins to pay attention. People start asking what changed, why he looks more confident, why his presence feels different. Even she begins to sense it. She may not understand why, but something in her starts to wonder. Why isn't he texting anymore? Why does he seem so calm? Did he move on? That curiosity is the beginning of attraction, because when you were chasing, she always knew where you stood. You were predictable, but now there's mystery. Mystery is magnetic. This is not manipulation, it's balance being restored. You used to give 100 while she gave 10, now you give 0, and suddenly she's curious where all your attention went. Attention is energy, and when you stop giving it away freely, it becomes valuable. A Stoic man is not cold, he's composed. He's not emotionless, he's emotionally disciplined. He feels deeply but doesn't beg to be understood. When someone pulls away, he reflects instead of reacts. He asks, "What is this moment teaching me?" He learns that letting go is not the same as losing. Letting go means choosing peace over pressure, dignity over desperation. If someone truly values you, they will return, and if they don't, you haven't lost anything real. It takes tremendous strength to stop chasing. It takes courage to silence the ego that screams, don't lose her, it takes discipline to resist the urge to reach out when every part of you wants to, but that discipline is where power is born. The Stoics said, he who conquers himself is the mightiest warrior. When you stop chasing, you conquer your impulses. You reclaim the energy that once drained you, and that reclaimed energy transforms into quiet confidence, the kind that can't be faked. Weeks pass, maybe months. You no longer wake up thinking about her. You no longer measure your day by her replies. For the first time in a long time, you feel peace, not because she came back, but because you did. You rediscover the version of yourself who existed before the chase, the man who laughed easily, who had goals, who didn't need anyone's attention to feel alive. And once you find him again, you never want to lose him. You walk differently now, you talk differently, you move through life with purpose, not pursuit. And strangely, that's when people begin to notice you most. When you stop chasing, your silence becomes louder than your words. Your calmness speaks for you. You no longer chase approval, you attract respect. That is the paradox of life. When you no longer need to be chosen, you become impossible to ignore. When you detach from the outcome, you become magnetic. When you stop begging for love, love starts finding its way back to you naturally, without force. The Stoic man understands that not every story needs closure, not every person deserves access to his peace. His worth isn't negotiable, his time isn't infinite, his energy is sacred. He chooses where to invest it, into growth, into purpose, into the kind of peace that no rejection can shake. He no longer asks when will she come back? He asks how can I become better than I was yesterday? And that's the quiet revolution every strong man eventually goes through. He stops living for validation and starts living for evolution. He realizes that his purpose is bigger than one unanswered message or one fading relationship. So he walks forward, not with anger, not with ego, but with peace. He lets life unfold as it's meant to. Because the Stoic knows what is meant for him will never need to be chased, and what runs from him was never truly his. When you stop chasing, you don't lose power, you reclaim it. When you stop begging for love, you make space for self-respect. When you stop searching for happiness in others, you finally find it within yourself. That is the essence of Stoic wisdom. It isn't about becoming heartless, it's about becoming whole. It's about standing still in a world that constantly tells you to run and realizing that the peace you were looking for was waiting for you all along. Time has a strange way of revealing the truth. When a man stops chasing, the silence he leaves behind starts to speak. At first, she doesn't notice. She assumes he's still there waiting, hoping, checking her stories, typing and deleting messages late at night. She thinks his attention is permanent, that no matter what she does, he'll always be around. But something shifts. Days turn into weeks, and she begins to realize the familiar pattern has vanished. No more good morning texts. No more random calls just to hear her voice. No more long messages filled with emotion and hope. The attention she once took for granted has disappeared. At first, she brushes it off. She tells herself he's just busy, but deep down, something unsettles her. It's not about love yet, it's about curiosity. Human nature always wants what it no longer has. The silence that once felt peaceful now feels heavy. She starts checking her phone more often. Maybe he'll text today. Maybe he'll post something that she can analyze. Maybe he's seeing someone else. She scrolls through his profile and notices he hasn't posted anything personal, yet his energy feels different, calm, grounded, present. That calmness unsettles her more than anger ever could. Because anger means emotion, calmness means detachment. A man who was once desperate for her attention now moves through life as if he never needed it. He seems free, and that freedom is powerful because it's rare. Most people are chained to their emotions, but he's mastered his. One evening, she decides to test the waters. She sends a simple message, "Hey, how have you been?" The old version of him would have replied instantly, overthinking every word, trying to sound confident but coming off too eager. But now he doesn't rush. He sees the message, smiles slightly, and continues what he was doing. Maybe he's reading a book. Maybe he's at the gym. Maybe he's just sitting quietly, enjoying his solitude. He replies later, calmly and briefly, "I've been good. Hope you're doing well too." No extra emojis, no hidden longing, no energy of pursuit, just peace. That small difference, the tone, the timing, the calmness, creates a storm inside her. She rereads his message, searching for emotion, but finds only serenity. It's not cold, but it's detached. It says, "I wish you well, but I no longer need you to complete me." She feels something she hasn't felt in a long time, uncertainty. Because when he chased, she was certain of his feelings. She had control, but now she's not sure. Has he moved on? Has he found someone else? Has he forgotten her completely? That uncertainty becomes the spark of attraction. The same mind that once dismissed him now begins to crave his attention. This is the paradox of human nature. What is freely available loses its value. What becomes scarce becomes desirable. And when a man's attention turns inward, toward his growth, his purpose, his peace, it becomes the rarest thing of all. She begins to think about him at odd times. A song reminds her of him. A memory crosses her mind. She scrolls through old photos, old messages, wondering when exactly things changed. She realizes that while she was busy seeking excitement elsewhere, he was evolving. She notices his glow, his quiet strength, his growing confidence. It's not that he became richer or more handsome or more successful overnight. It's that he became complete. A man who no longer seeks validation radiates an energy that commands respect without demanding it. She tries again, sending another message, "I've been thinking about you lately." He reads it. He feels a flicker of warmth, but he doesn't let it control him. He smiles, not because he's won, but because he's healed. He replies kindly, "That's nice to hear. I hope everything's good with you. Once again, calm, balanced, controlled, she begins to feel something deeper now, not just curiosity, but admiration. The same man she once thought was too emotional has become emotionally strong. The one she once ignored now seems like the one who got away, and that's when she starts chasing. She wants to see him again. She wants to reconnect to see if there's still a spark, but the dynamic has completely shifted. He's no longer the boy who needed her love to feel alive. He's the man who knows his worth, with or without her. When she calls, he answers kindly but briefly. When she hints at meeting, he doesn't rush to agree. He thinks first. He values his time, his peace, his energy. He's learned something profound. Detachment is not indifference, it's wisdom. It's the understanding that you can care without clinging, love without losing yourself, and let go